Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. There's a disillusioned XRP holder who claims that influencers have been claiming XRP breakouts that never came. And one of those influencers, quote unquote, is me. He tagged me in a post on X, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about and what he had to say in just a moment here. But it seems to be the case that he believes that based on price action alone, that Ripple got played, and that's a quote, and also that he's feeling that the entire crypto space, based on price action, the entire crypto space is an outright scam. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind, I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby, and just for fun. Now, at the time I'm recording this, mind you, XRP is at 52 cents, Bitcoin's at 27,720 bucks. You got the Crypto Fear and Greed Index at 48 out of 100, which is neutral. So this means that the typical lemming retail speculator out there is not feeling fearful. But based on the comments from this disillusioned XRP holder, he seems to be a bit more on the fear side. I'd hazard a guess right there. And this is the type of sentiment that you would expect when we're not in pure euphoria mode. So like when prices are not rocketing, and you don't have the laser eyes and the diamond hands and all that BS, when you don't have that, and things are just moving sideways for prolonged periods of time, and or if the price is going down, there is just a certain percentage of people that own crypto out there, and same thing happens with stocks too. There's a certain percentage of humans that just they just don't have the fortitude, they don't have the patience to just wait things out. And they don't seem to understand that what's happening in terms of price action frequently is not an indication of a shift in underlying fundamentals. It's just you can just observe that price is moving because of those types of people that have the emotional response that I'm talking about right here. The emotional speculators, they're the ones that move the market. The fact that those people exist, like, I'm counting on that as part of my investment strategy. I'm counting on people getting impatient and panic selling and giving up. I'm counting on all that. I'm also on the flip side counting on them to FOMO into positions. So while I'm stacking when people are fearful, so people are panic selling, I'm preparing. That's what I do in general. And then when we get to the FOMO side, and everybody wants to just pile on in and get their positions then, as the price has already gone up, that's when I'm inclined to sell. It's the old Warren Buffett saying, be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. And it doesn't matter how much data is on the damn planet, people just are not going to get it. We have over 100 years worth of data in the stock market. We've got 14 years worth of data in crypto showing upward trends despite massive pullbacks, despite massive devastation from time to time. Despite all of this, people will not learn this lesson on the whole. But on an individual level, we can learn that. I have, and I'm willing to bet that the vast majority of you listening already have learned that. But this is a perfect reminder. And nothing against this individual. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But I'm going to, what I'm doing here right now, just to be clear, I'm challenging the sentiment and I'm challenging the concept behind it, not the individual. It's about the sentiment being flawed because it's not based on fundamentals, it's based on emotions. And then the allegations also are not based on actual fact. They're just allegations out there which stem from negative emotions from the individual. That's all that is. So again, to be absolutely nothing against this guy. There's tons of people that respond like this, and I understand it. I just refuse to be one of those people. That's it. That's all that I'm saying here. And so the individual in question is named Bo, and he tagged me along with Brad Garlinghouse, the blockchain backer, and also Digital Assets Daily. So tagged the four of us and wrote, at some point you got to feel like the partnerships were all BS, and I'm censoring that, after no price movement on a huge win. Makes you feel like Ripple got played, #XRP. And so mind you, this is somebody who is pro XRP. This is somebody who is a holder, but based on price action, he's feeling things which resulted in this particular post. And look, I'm a human too, so just to be clear, although I don't have emotional responses to speculation, I admit, and I have admitted before, I did in the past. I am absolutely numb to it. I haven't had an emotional response to just regular fluctuations of price since August of 2018. I happened to be in San Francisco on a trip. I'll never forget it. For some reason, I had my epiphany. I've talked about it before, and that was it. So it's, I've fallen victim to that mentality before. I'm not perfect. I'm not all high and mighty, but that's why I feel like I've got some standing to speak on this. I've been there, and other people are feeling that, and that's part of the reason I want to. So it's not to rip on Bo and bash on him. It's to just point out it's sentiment, it's feelings rather than data and logic and reason. And I don't think that's the best way to approach investing. I think that you should look at fundamentals and not focus on the feeling side of this things. So anyway, I responded to him and I tagged Credible Crypto, and because I shared a post from Credible Crypto yesterday, and he just noted in a nutshell, just without, I don't want it's not necessary to pull up for the sake of this video, but I went into great detail yesterday. And he just noted, look, in terms of the price action with XRP, because we just got the great news that Judge Torres smacked down the SEC, denying the appeal. XRP did have an impulse up to, actually, according to one outlet that I saw, it might have been CoinDesk, actually. I'd have to go double check. But there's one outlet that said, actually, it was more like 8% that it jumped after the news broke. And then it went back down, kind of moving sideways since. But that happened in about 20 minutes. Very quick. But also some people look at that and they're like, well, how come it was just that? Shouldn't have been higher? That's just like 4 pennies or something like that. And so Credible Crypto pointed out, yeah, but there's not liquidity in the market. And so I tagged Credible Crypto because he just talked about this the other day. So I responded to Bo and I wrote, as Credible Crypto has pointed out, markets are not sufficiently liquid. XRP didn't rocket in price because there's not enough demand for it. But that's true of the entire asset class because most people aren't paying attention to crypto right now. No one got played. And so, folks, Bo never expanded upon, his thoughts on why he believes Ripple got played or why he feels like that. And if it's just a feeling, then okay. And he did to his okay, fine. He said feeling, but is there anything underlying that? Because if there's nothing underlying that, there's no data. Then doesn't that make you think, just using logic rather than emotion, that maybe you should brush the feeling aside? That's how I'd think about it. That's how I'd approach this. To me, that doesn't make any sense at all. And so just imagine if we were in April of 2021. That was the period of time when everything was running, right? Led by Bitcoin. And we did have the laser eyes and the diamond hands and all that crap, all that silly nonsense, which is fun, and it's fine as long as you're not caught up in the nonsense of it and you understand what it is. You can have fun with it. I don't mind that. I'm sure many of you did the laser eyes profile pics. It's fine. I don't knock on people for that. Have some fun with the space. But I'm just saying, during that particular time period, XRP did correlate with Bitcoin, and it rocketed on up to $2. And fine, we didn't see a new all-time high, but I firmly believe that we would have if not for the SEC suing Ripple, and as a result, it's attacking all XRP holders. I believe we would have seen that. But had we had conclusion of the case then instead of now, if we had it during the euphoria, I think it's highly probable that in such an environment, XRP would have hit a new all-time high and rocketed into price discovery. So what I'm saying is, it's the sentiment and feelings and attention paid to the market at the moment. Fine, at the bottom of the bear market, I believe, happened in November of last year, unless we have some sort of wild card of it. I believe that is the case. So the fact that we're climbing out of that, but still most of the world isn't paying attention to crypto. Well, where do you think the money's going to come from them? Yes, we are aware. We're listening. We're paying attention, and good on us. And kudos to you for you listening for being aware of all this. But that doesn't mean that because we're super focused on this and super into this, because we're crypto nerds, just because of that, it doesn't mean that suddenly this news breaks and you get a tenfold increase from the outside world who doesn't care about crypto right now. It doesn't mean that they suddenly care about crypto and it all goes to XRP. That doesn't make logical sense, does it? The fact of the matter, people are not paying attention to crypto right now. And so there's less liquidity right now. Credible Crypto is correct. Credible Crypto also responded to me and shared 3 of the 100 emoji, which is on the screen right there. And he wrote 100. Prices on any crypto asset right now don't reflect fundamentals. They reflect a lack of liquidity. And Credible Crypto is spot on with this. Bo responded to him and said, 90% XRP holders and majority of the haters. If XRP can't take off, maybe crypto is a scam in general. That's where I'm at. Okay, so I read that. And again, nothing against this guy on a personal level, but that just screams to me that emotions are at play rather than logic and reason and data. The entire crypto space is a scam now because you don't like where the price is. And so I responded to him, and I just took a logical, rational approach, and I haven't heard back from him yet. Maybe he'll respond to me. I'm willing to have a conversation, of course. But he wrote, I wrote back to Bo, I said, who is scamming? Are the creators of every coin scamming people, including Satoshi Nakamoto and David Schwartz? Price is created by speculators. What is it about the price action created by speculators that makes you believe the creators of cryptocurrencies are scammers? And so folks, think about this. There are developers operating in good faith, launching projects, launching blockchains, launching cryptocurrencies. They don't control what the speculators do. They don't control the sentiment of the market in general, and the market does move in tandem. So are you really going to argue to me that because sentiment in crypto is lower right now, it's poor, compared to when we're in euphoria mode like we were in 2021, are you really going to tell me with a straight face that because the sentiment is negative and price is going down and you don't like that, that means that the entire asset class is a scam? Or might you be feeling something? Might be the feels. Might that be the case? Is BlackRock the largest firm with assets under management on the entire planet, 10 trillion in assets under management? Should you warn them, Bo? Maybe head them off. Just give them a nod. Speak with them. Let them know, BlackRock, with 10 trillion in assets under management, that they're making a dangerous mistake and about to jump into an asset class that is just a scam. Do you really believe that, though? I sure as hell don't. XRP price isn't where you want it to be, so what? Ripple got played and it's a scam? See, so I'm pushing back against the sentiment and the ideal because I understand why this is happening. It is emotion, but I'm going to push back against that because, again, I think that we should be focused on logic and data and reason. And I don't think that stuff like this is. And again, that's why I said I've been there too. It's not a knock against the person. I've been that person, okay? And so is, if we're being honest, every single one of you has too at one point or another. Maybe you're awesome at it like I am now, and you're just like a robot and you don't feel things when it comes to volatility. Awesome if you are like that. But we've all been there, right? So, if you're going to say that it's the speculators that choose what the price is on a global scale for any crypto asset. The speculators do that, not the developers. And then you want to say the developers are scammers because the speculators who are different people did that? And then you, who are, it seems like you're almost tempted to sell, maybe you're not going to. It actually sounds like he's not going to, but people with that sentiment frequently do. So because the people out there, if they have the sentiment, oh, it's a scam and it's bad, and then they sell, they're the ones pushing the price down further. That's what's so rich about this. It's not the developers. If anything, the developers are the most confident people in the space. And then there was also this. Here we go. Then Bo tagged me and David Schwartz and Brad Garlinghouse in Credible Crypto, and this is where he made an accusation against the four of us. So he tagged the four of us and said, so again, Moon Lambo, David Schwartz, Brad Garlinghouse, Credible Crypto also has been claiming breakouts since I've been in the space that has never came or mostly never came. I mean, I'm down heavily since I've gotten in, so not going anywhere, but this is some BS, and I am pretty sure I speak for, and then it cuts off. So I assume that he meant to type, I speak for everyone or a lot of people or something to that effect, but it just cut off right there. And there is no continuation of that thread, I checked. So there you go. Apparently, I claimed breakouts. Here's one thing I've never done, is I've never made a price prediction, and I always admit all the time, I don't know where XRP price is going to go. I have suspicions, but I think ultimately it's either going to go to zero or it's going to hit a new all-time high. I don't think it can flutter around here in terms of price action forever. I've said that. That's about as far as I've gone. I'm not a chart guy. I don't engage in technical analysis. I'm a just set it and forget it type of guy. I just buy stuff, and then I hold, and if it's worth way more, maybe I'll sell it one day, and then if not, then I don't. That's it. That's it. In fact, Bo, I got to tell you here, it sounds like you and I bought XRP thinking and hoping the same thing, right? So you bought XRP. You were thinking and hoping that it was going to go up, right? I did the same thing. Now, neither you nor I know if that's going to happen and to what degree. We don't know. We can't know for sure. Now, I have my strong suspicions. I've been articulating that for, the whole time I've been in the crypto space, almost 6 years. Had this channel almost 5 years now. But as far as claiming breakouts, my God, I've certainly never seen David Schwartz do that, never seen Brad Garlinghouse do that. And as far as Credible Crypto, he speaks in terms of probability because he's a chart guy. But I've never been claiming so-and-so absolutely is going to happen because I say in every video, I literally don't know. I just think over the long haul, what's most probable is price is going to be way, way, way higher. But isn't that your bet too, as an XRP speculator, Bo? Aren't you and I in the exact same boat? Don't you suppose the same thing? I think that's the case. It looks to me like you're just feeling down because your investment is worth less than when you purchased it. Well, let me tell you something. I sympathize, actually. Even though you're making this claim about me, which is not true, claiming breakouts, this or that. I'll talk about the topic of breakouts. I'll cover that in videos. I'm never claiming specifically that such is going to happen. I don't know. But here's where I'll sympathize with you. I've now been in crypto almost 6 years, and I am up quite a bit because I've been in the market for a long time, because it's time in the market, not time in the market, that actually matters. But for the first 3 years in particular that I held XRP, I was down in my investment for the vast majority of that time. And other than, as I said, my early, the first, what would have been, the first 9 months or so that I was in crypto, there were some moments where I felt the emotions that you're clearly feeling now. Other than that, I was fine. I was just dollar cost averaging in, and XRP would go down and I'd buy more and be like, okay, fine. I just think it's, irrational people just buying and selling. Eventually I had my epiphany. It's like, I already know this is logically true. Why am I letting my emotions come out? Like, why am I letting my emotions get the best of me here? And it never caused me to sell, but I did feel those things. And then after that, I was like, yeah, this is stupid. I logically know that. And for some reason, that was the moment for me. In August of 2018, I just didn't have anymore. But again, for 3 years, I was mostly down, and I wasn't crying about it, and I wasn't impatient. I've never felt impatient, by the way. Although there was some of that fear, I've never felt impatient. When I started buying crypto in 2017, I thought, oh, well, let's look down the road 5-10 years. And now we're past 5 years for me. But that was just a concept. It didn't have to be 5 years or even 10 years. The idea is I'm just going to hold this because I think it's going to be worth a veritable fortune compared to where it is now in the future at some unknown point in time. That's it. And I still believe that's true. So I sympathize if you're feeling the things, because I have been there emotionally. But no, it's not, for me anyway, it wasn't a reason to sell. And now it's worth way more. And XRP, yes, it's frustrating the SEC did what they did. I think we would have seen a new all-time high. But XRP is a lot higher now than where I purchased it. It's more than double what I paid, just on average. And I did have some buys higher than where I'm at right now. I mean, I remember starting to dollar cost average it at 55 cents at some point in 2018 after the bubble popped. But still, it's, I waited, and it is higher now, and I still think it's going to be worth way more in the future. That's pretty much it. XRP community member JK responded to Bo and wrote, "Bro, I've been here a long time and never, ever have I heard David Schwartz and Brad Garlinghouse talk about breakouts. Moon Lambo doesn't do technical analysis, and Credible Crypto has the best credibility in the space. You're down because you chose bad entry points." Yeah, and so he's right. I don't do TA, which is why I don't make price predictions. I'd be just out of my depths doing something like that. I'd just be pulling something out my rear side if I were doing so, which is why I don't. I don't know where price is going to go. Just based on fundamentals over the long haul, I believe it's going to be higher. And even separate from that, because the entire asset class moves in tandem, and I believe the asset class will be worth more, I believe that will raise the price for XRP over time. So it's both of those things for me, in a nutshell, right? But he's right. And then as far as choosing bad entry points, well, I mean, you can say that because the price went down, but for me, if you're just dollar cost averaging in like I did, you could say, okay, it's bad, but it's like, is it really though? Because you don't know where it's going to be. And so I don't take the approach of like beating myself up or beating up other people or anything of the sort just because price goes down after we buy something, because there's a 99.9% chance that when you buy something at some unknown point in the future, it will be worth less than it is when you buy it. And if you haven't thought about that and that percentage sounds outrageous, it's not outrageous. It's actually quite literally true. Because almost nobody buys the bottom. You're telling me that that's it. You bought the literal bottom, and it will never be lower than that ever again for the history of mankind. Are you so sure about that? Well, the answer is no. But the thing is, prices can move sideways for long periods of time. It can be very prolonged. And so you could say, yeah, bad entry points, but that's the point of dollar cost averaging, so you don't even have to worry about that. XRP community member named Mark, he responded to JK and wrote, "On the positive side, he's a great indicator of a local bottom," and then he shared a laughy emoji. And so he says that somewhat in jest, but it is true that when the sentiment is like that, It's because price has been going down, and when that happens, that typically represents a good time to buy, which is not me telling anyone to buy. I'm not saying that. I'm just sharing concepts that I believe to be true. Because I'll tell you what, in 2021 with the laser eyes rather, and the diamond hands, when you saw that approaching Bitcoin's then all-time high, which hit, was it May when it hit its then all-time high? I know it crashed and then went way back up again in November of 2021, but when it hit its all-time high close to what, 66,000 in April or May, whatever it was, with all that euphoria there, doesn't the data show that would have been a better time to sell? And then when things cratered back down, like pick your market cycle, hasn't that been an indication that it's better to move to the upside? And what was the sentiment? When the sentiment is piss poor, that is generally speaking an indicator of local bottom. And so Bo, I'm not saying this to insult him, he's a part of that group. And we've all felt these emotions before, which is why, again, it's not to rip on him. I just, like I said multiple times in this video, hey, I've been there, raising my hand right now. I've been there. You've all been there too. I just don't think it's a good approach to investing to allow ourselves to feel that way. It's more like, let's respond based on logic, reason, and data. That's pretty much it. So I wanted to expand upon that and share some thoughts on this. But let me know what you think. I'll stop yammering on here, but it's one of those things where, you know, even if you know this to be true because we're human, it's not enough to hear it once and then it just sinks in. We need to remind ourselves of this, which is why I'll always be willing to talk about this topic. I mean, I seem to be at a point right now where I'm impervious to any sort of price action. I've been here for almost 6 years. It just doesn't hit me. It hasn't hit me for over 5 years. It doesn't hit me in the feels at all. In fact, when price goes down, I kid you not, I legitimately get excited if I'm in a position where I actually want to add to my bags. That's it. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.